January 29, 2016, Summoning Soul uploads their first video on YouTube, a punch-out speedrun. From there, this channel would start regularly uploading videos about the game, and soon enough, he would become the National Geographic of video game speedruns. There is a kind of magic in watching a game you once casually played get absolutely torn apart by someone named Keyboard Jesus 42 using exploits that bend reality and a controller to their will. But there's only one person who can turn that chaos into something truly cinematic: Summoning Soul. He doesn't just talk about speed running, he documents it. Like Ken Burns, if Ken Burns only cared about Mega Man and Mario Kart. In this video we are diving into the evolution of Summoning Soul's channel, how it started, how it became a cornerstone of retro gaming YouTube where it stands today, and a few things you might not know about the man behind the monologue. Before the million of views, the hour-long documentaries on these subtle music swells, Summoning Soul was simply another runner in the trenches, specifically the punch-out trenches. His first videos weren't flashy, no voice-over, no slick transition, just gameplay footage, and a fascination with the art of shaving off fractions of a second. Back then, YouTube wasn't filled with long-form, high-effort retrospectives. It was cut videos and Let's Plays. Soul's early uploads were different, focused, analytical, the kind of content that didn't yell your attention but quietly pulled you in. He didn't aim to impress presentation, he aimed to inform, and he informed.
Faya came back and took it from Andrew. The main reason he was able to do so is because of the donut secret house. Andrew thought that the patterns of the level were random, so he made a few small mistakes, losing a few seconds. But Lucid Faya realized that the first time he played a level on every run, the pattern was exactly the same each time.
Then came 2017. Soul uploaded a video called World Record Progression Mike Tyson.
Few can say that they've beaten Mike Tyson before. He's topped many lists of the hardest video game bosses of all time, for good reason. The combination of lightning-fast reflexes and thorough knowledge of his patterns make him extremely difficult for a casual gamer to beat.
It was straightforward gameplay footage, a monotone narration, and a deep dive into constantly shifting world record of one of the most punishing NES games ever made. It wasn't clickbait, it wasn't loud, it just told a story, a really good one. The kind of story that didn't just explain the record, but explored what made people care about beating it in the first place. The stakes weren't just high scores, they were personal triumphs, technical innovation, years of dedication captured in a few minutes of pixel-perfect execution, and people responded. Suddenly speedrunning, a hobby most people associated with obscure forums and terrifying Twitch clips, had a new lens, one that felt serious, methodical, even historical. From that moment on, Soul wasn't just a runner, he was the guy telling stories that speedrunners were too busy breaking controllers to tell. He had found a voice, and that voice resonated. Soul didn't reinvent the wheel, he just gave it a structure. His format became instantly recognizable, a chronicle breakdown of a game world record, interviews or runner clips when available, and music that gradually builds tension and the movement, and then everything changed. And when he says that, buckle up. Someone just discovered a glitch that bends the laws of physics, or a new strategy that obsoletes years of effort, or a player who shows up out of nowhere and rewrites the leaderboard in a weekend. He covered Mega Man 2, Castlevania, Mario Kart, Tetris, Excitebike, games that feel like they've been around forever, but had never been treated with this kind of reverence. The storytelling didn't just inform, it elevated. It made you feel like you were watching something bigger than a game. You were watching human obsession, framed through a CRT monitor. Soul isn't trying to impress you with a speedrun tech. He is trying to make you understand it, even if you've never picked up a controller, and that's where his strength lies. He removed the barrier between niche and narrative. You don't need to know what RNG manipulation or a frame rule is is going in, he will teach you, quietly and patiently. And by the end, you'll find yourself gasping at 0.02-second improvement, like it's the moon landing. Over time, his uploads got longer, more polished, and somehow even more intense. These weren't just YouTube videos anymore, they were documentaries, real documentaries, the kind you expect to see at a film festival, if that film festival happened to be inside a GameStop. And despite the complexity of the subject matter, his videos remained accessible, anyone could watch, and everyone could care. He began defining the tone of speedrunning commentaries across the platform. All the creators took notes, Bismuth, Call Jobs, even long-form gaming storytellers like NoClip all embraced this hybrid model. Technical details meet cinematic structure. Salt's influence seeped into everything, and somehow he never pivoted to loud thumbnails, reaction content, or shouting at tier list. He just kept making exactly the kind of videos he wanted to watch, and millions of people agreed. That's rare nowadays. That's authenticity. And audiences, they can smell it a mile away. These days, Summoning Salt uploads about 3 to 4 times a year, but each new video is treated like an event. You'll see comments like, "I didn't even care about X side bike, and now I'm emotionally invested in the 1987 world record race between two guys named Greg and Sizzlemaster." People don't just tune in for the game, they tune in for the storytelling, and the tone hasn't changed. It's still sold, calm, clinical, completely composed, even as he explains that some 14-year-old discovered a new time-saving glitch by accidentally falling through a floor of a 30-year-old game at 3 a.m. He's not a hype man, he's a historian, a digital archivist for games most of us haven't played in decades, but suddenly feel compelled to revisit. There's an almost meditative quality to his pacing. He feels tension with nothing more than a slowly rising synth track and the phrase, "this would not last." Quick sidebar, I once tried to speedrun Dark Souls 1. I got killed by the Carper Demon for an hour straight, somehow managed to soft-lock myself in Brighton, finished the run in just under 2 hours. Not bad, not good. Pulled a muscle in my thumb and retired. But anyway, back to Salt. The genius of Summoning Salt lies in restraint. He doesn't over-explain, he doesn't insert himself in the story like I did. He lets the players and the game footage speak. He narrates like he's guiding you throughout an exhibit, and here's what changed. Here's why it mattered. It's easy to forget how rare this is on YouTube. He is one of the few creators whose comment sections feels like a forum. People sharing obscure anecdotes, runner memories, historical context. It's a mini museum under every upload, and his videos, they endure. You can revisit them years later and they still hold up, not because the games are relevant, but because the stories are timeless. Records fall, glitches break, but rivalry persists. Innovation, that never gets old. And Soul captures it in a way that feels definitive, like this is the version of events that will live on. Long after the forums go down and the VODs disappear, like these runners didn't just play games, they left legacies. Soul himself, he holds or has had multiple world records, mostly in Punch-Out. So yes, he talks the talk, and he walks the very precise frame-optimized walk. There's even a term among fans, soul time. The vibe shift when you realize you're 45 minutes into a video about Tetris and you're fully emotionally invested. Summoning Salt didn't just document speedrunning, he elevated. He brought clarity to chaos, structure to obsession, and somehow he made a glitch-ridden video game feel novel, like watching floor people reach for perfection, one frame at a time. He turned a niche obsession into a compelling human drama. If you haven't watched his videos yet, start with any of them. Doesn't really matter. You'll probably watch 3 in a row and forget how time works. But well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Share, subscribe, all that stuff, and see you soon, random internet brother. Special thanks to Summoning Soul for making world records feel like world events.